Ask for my date of birth. What my date of birth has got to do with Lidl's, I have no idea, and I bitterly resent them asking that in the first place. So they don't get that. They get a fictitious one, and tough if it causes me problems. Put all your details in, all your payment, your date of birth, inside leg measurement, the whole lot, and then at the end of it, it says charge, and then it says failed. So this, to us, today, is unusable. That really annoys me. So Lidl, black mark, thumbs down, don't use these until we can work out what's actually going on. Well, cut price supermarkets like Lidl's have really taken over in recent years. So for the budget conscious amongst us, we can come here and we can save a huge amount of money on our weekly shopping. But we now have their own app, and this is Lidl Plus. And an awful lot of you don't know that what they do for their food prices, they now do for us EV drivers and our charging prices. So we're here today to have a look at Lidl charging through the Lidl Plus app. Okay, well, what we have is Lidl have got EV chargers here. So I found one. Now, is that... Well, there's nothing up that way. There's nothing over... You know, this is it. Well, I know they have a different policy of stacking food on the shelves in the store, but one EV charger for the whole store. Let's see what it does. Okay, well, we've got one charger, but you can get 3 at once, 3 charging plugs. So let's... Well, in actual fact, you can't. It seems to be either or. Well, isn't that unusual? You get 2 parking bays, but 1 charger. One's a CCS2. CCS2 is the most popular of all the charging sockets on cars today. So that suits just about every car. For some of your original Nissan Leafs, you've got your CHAdeMO socket, and that is going rapidly out of fashion. So this is one place where you can come. Very interesting that what they also do is the fast charger. This is the Type 2 plug, and this is rated at 7 to 22 kilowatts. Now, I will warn you, although this is 22 kilowatts, most cars can't do 22 kilowatts. That's the maximum power the charger can put out. My car and virtually all Teslas, even the Tesla Model S Plaid, is limited to 11 kilowatts. So there are very few cars that run the full 22 kilowatts. But at 11 kilowatts, that's quite a powerful charge. We're going to have a look at the price of these different ones in just a moment. But it does mean that you could charge one 7 kilowatt and either a CCS or a CHAdeMO in the other. So technically it's a 2-bay charger. Power of it is very simple. It's 50 kilowatts. That's it. 50 kilowatts on CHAdeMO, 50 kilowatts on CCS, and up to 22 kilowatts on the fast Type 2 chargers. So it's not very speedy. However, just before getting here, we went and had a session at Fastned, and Fastned have got a 300 kilowatt dual bay charger, where if 2 cars are plugged in, you can get up to 150 kilowatts each, or if any one is plugged in and your car can take it, you can take up to 300 kilowatts. My car has got a maximum charging rate of 150 kilowatts. So whatever I plug into, I'm never going to get more than 150 kilowatts. But at the Fastned recently, this was a 300 kilowatt charger. I was the only car there. And what I was getting, I'm at a 50% state of charge, and I was getting 51 kilowatts of power. This is 50. So for many people, although you might head towards the GridServe 350s or the Fastned 300s or the Ionity 350s, for most cars today, they have an absolute maximum charging speed of about 100 to 150 kilowatts. And for most cars today, when they're plugged in, they're pulling less than 50 kilowatts. If you don't believe me, I got a load of photos that just take all these from the GridServe chargers. They've all got the screens displaying exactly what each car is producing. It will surprise you how little you actually get when you plug into a 350 kilowatt charger. So here, this is quite handy. Let's put some time on this. If you plug in at 22 kilowatts, I won't get that, I'll get 11. So my car on 11 kilowatts, I'll be getting about 35 miles per hour I'm plugged in here. So if I've come from home and it's 5 mile here, I go and do an hour's shopping, fill up, come back, I will have added 35 miles, but I've only driven 10 miles. So that's just a nice little top up. The price for the 7 kilowatt fast charger, the Type 2 charger, is 49 pence per kilowatt hour, which is quite on the budget side, a bit high on the Type 2 side, but budget for charging. But 22 kilowatts, if you can get it, that's a good charge. So for a shop in the store where you're going to be in there for half an hour to an hour, something in that region, if you go for the 50 kilowatts, either CHAdeMO or the CCS, you're likely to be getting something over, well over 50 kilowatts added, could be quite a bit more. And an average motorist does about 150 miles a week, so they're only doing 40 kilowatts per week. So plugging in here for an hour while your car charges and you're shopping, this could give you your week's charge. So all this idea that all these negative people have about, oh, you have to stand around waiting for your car to charge. No, you don't. You plug your car in, you go shopping, and when you come back, hey, it's full. It's as simple as that. So when they say they can fill a petrol car in 5 minutes, yeah, I can fill mine in less than 30 seconds. That's how long it takes to plug in. I then go off and do whatever it is I'm doing. And when I come back, the car is finished on its own, and it takes 10 seconds to unplug it. So these are handy. It would be great if they had more here, because I've got a feeling that these will start being used. Price on the CCS2 is 62 pence per kilowatt hour. Now we've just come from Fastned, they're 69 pence a kilowatt hour, and GridServe, Ionity are currently 79p, although GridServe has a 10% offer for this month, and Instavolt 85p, so 64p, yeah, that's okay. 62p, sorry, that's okay. It is a cut price, it's 7p, it's over 10% off the Fastned prices, probably 20% off the Instavolt prices. So they're okay if you can't charge at home and this is your choice. 62 pence, it's okay. It's quite a bit later in the day than we actually anticipated. While we were here filming, a lovely young lady came in an e-tron and tried to charge here. Now, there's a little bit of a backstory. We don't give out names, and we did ask her. She doesn't want to appear on the video, but she's quite happy for us to explain what's happened. So we got the charger here, and she pulled in, and it turns out that the car was delivered to her on the Monday. No instructions, nothing. And this is absolutely appalling. I really find this terrible that someone is just given the key to the car and told, there's your new car, get on with it. So she's had no instructions, she knows nothing about it. She's come on a long journey and she's experiencing problems. So nothing to do with her. This is just bad delivery from whoever delivered the car to her. Anyway, so she got here and we're in Lidl's and she pulled in and we met her up straight away. We had a chat with her and she said she could really do with some help. So the first thing we did was we told her that there's only 3 methods of charging here. You can either use the Lidl app, you can charge via the website, or you can use roaming with RFID. So the first thing I would really point out here is there's no contactless. Now, this is very, very rare. In fact, I didn't think anyone still did it. But the law seemed to suggest that people should not force you to use an app. And yet this one, it is giving you alternatives, but it's not giving you contactless. So that's a big black point to Lidl's. This should be much easier to use. Whatever problems people then experience, this should be easier to use just with contactless. Anyone that forces you to go through the app, well, there's ulterior motives. I have downloaded the app. I found it very obtrusive. Asked for my date of birth. What my date of birth has got to do with Lidl's, I have no idea, and I bitterly resent them asking that in the first place. So they don't get that. They get a fictitious one, and tough if it causes me problems. So you have to use the app. On this particular occasion, when we use the app, it just goes round in a permanent loop. There's nothing you can do with it. You can select your charger, you can follow the instructions, you can go on the app, you have to put all your details in, all your payment, your date of birth, inside leg measurement, the whole lot. And then at the end of it, it says charge, and then it says failed. And no matter what we did, we've charged up pretty much every single charger in the whole of the UK, type brand of charger, and we've never had this much trouble at any previous location ever. So this, to us, today, is unusable. And a lot of people complain you don't get red buttons for stopping the charge anymore. Red button here seems to have stopped the whole of the charger. So this is a big black mark against Lidl's. We are going to go and try a different location. We're not doing it today, we've run out of time. But this is really bad. There's somebody who comes in, doesn't have enough mileage to get home on the charge they have. They came here because it's a local place to where they were working for the day, and they absolutely failed. We failed. Jonas is with me. He failed as well. We couldn't get this thing working, yet it's taken all our personal details. So I am really against this. I am going to contact the customer helpline, and I'm going to have a chat with them there. I'm going to find out why they haven't got a contactless option on there and why this is so difficult to use. There is one charger here, and when we got here, I was a little bit surprised nobody was using it. I think I now know the reason. It's not able to be used. So this to us is a disaster, and this really, really gets EV drivers a bad name, because they come here and they think charging is really difficult and complicated, and Lidl actually make it really difficult and complicated. Just up the road there's a series of GridServe chargers, and we've actually advised a young lady named Sue. She said we can use her name, but no surnames. Sue said she was just going to go up there and use that one, but this was a local one for her. So a very disappointing experience. We will follow this one up. Price is a welcome 62 pence, but if you can't use it, absolutely useless. So we've got a lot from this video, from this experience. Sue was very grateful. We've given her a lot of tips and help, and we educated on her on a few things she really didn't know. And if we've done anything to make her EV driving experience better, smoother, happier, then today's been a success for us, even though the charging session was a total failure. So we wish Sue all the best. She's off. We think she's off to a GridServe, which is just up the road, and we know there they have contactless. Why she came here is a different story. We'll cover that one another time. But for now, that's our experience here. Lidl's maybe cheap, but you can't use it. So for us, this is a no-no at the moment. Until we've spoken to them, got to the bottom of this, all we can say is I wouldn't waste your time here if I was you, knowing what I know now. So thanks very much. We've still got the sunshine out, although it's getting later in the day. So that's the end of this video. We're heading home now. We didn't manage to get a charge here ourselves. We tried it, but the app was just asking so many personal questions that in the end, I just refused to, yeah, thank you very much. So in the end, yeah. So in the end, I just abandoned the app. I will not give out all my personal details to anyone who doesn't need it. And why Lidl's need my date of birth to use one of their chargers, that really annoys me. So Lidl, black mark, thumbs down. Don't use these until we can work out what's actually going on. So thanks very much. I'm Dave. We want to say thank you to all our supporters over on Patreon. Well, this is where we can provide extras like behind the scenes content, occasional bloopers, and community meetups. We also have an online chat for those who have questions, feedback, or suggestions for the channel. For more details, please see this description down below. I'm Dave.